Hey, what's going on? How you doing? If you're catching this on the replay, let me know where you're coming in from. Drop a hashtag replay for me. Tell me which country you're coming in from. How you doing? I'm just going to share this into a couple of groups. If you guys are doing lives, if you're trying to, expand your reach or grow your business or just get the word out there for whatever you're passionate about, it's always a good idea to talk to the replay viewers first, like you right now, before the people who are watching live actually hop on. Right? And share it into your group before other people hop on. So people are hopping on now. How you doing? Hey Darren, welcome to the call. As you guys are hopping on, just give me a hello in the comments. Help me out with the algorithm. Pump up some hearts. I'm going to talk about one of the things that cripples most people in life, not only in their online business, but just generally in life, and that is fear, right? We all feel fear. I'm going to talk about a few of the experiences I've had in my life through traveling throughout the world, either going to school or being an athlete or being an entrepreneur, and overcoming the fears in those various areas. Because what I've realized is that fear is rooted generally in the same feeling, regardless of what you're doing. It's always the same fear that pokes its nasty head out and tries to stop you from doing something uncomfortable, right? So in today's broadcast, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of, I don't want to call them strategies, but more observations that I have realized in my world overcoming various fears, right? So who do we have on the call here? How you doing, guys? I can see you there. Hey, Darren. Darren says he's at the UK. I'm here in Baraka Island in the Philippines. This is the island that my wife and I have been living on for 7 years, consulting in hospitality. If you guys aren't familiar with who we are, my wife's just there suntanning. And we're just enjoying the beach here for the last few days. We're going to go to Manila for a couple of weeks, and then we're going to move over to Russia. And we're going to spend a good part of the fall in Russia with my wife's family, and then we're going to head into Italy and travel around Rome and Tuscany and things. And if you're wondering how we pull that off, it's because this year I've been fortunate enough to break my fear of going full-time online, and it's resulted in creating a full-time income online and being able to travel and live the life of freedom that we all deserve. So I couldn't have done that if I was scared and fearful, right? There's a lot of things in my life I wouldn't have been able to accomplish if I was scared and fearful. And when it comes to fear, guys, I honestly believe that fear is almost always the same root inside the human body. So I'll give you a couple examples from my experiences. Back in the day when I was in my early 20s, I was a professional alpine ski racer. The opposite of this, right? That's probably why I chase the tropical environment so much, because I was chasing snow for a good portion of my life when I was younger. And as a professional alpine ski racer, we hurl ourselves down mountains at 120 kilometers an hour, and we wear spandex, and there's not much protection, and we're putting our life on the line pretty much every single day for the glory and the prestige and everything that comes along with being a professional athlete, right? My dream was to be an Olympian back then, and I did quite well. I was top 100 in the world in my peak. But the thing is this, we were like the best you can be in the world, right? The top athletes in the world. And when I would stand at the top of a ski race and get ready to go down that mountain, my knees were shaking, right? I had that fear feeling in my stomach, like I was going to be nauseous and sick. I had that feeling every single race, regardless of how many times I've done it, regardless of how many years I've done it, regardless of my preparation. I had the fear. Okay, I had the fear. Now, how did I overcome that fear? I overcame it the exact same way I overcame all of my other fears. All of them. I overcome them all the same way. Now, another fear that I had, I can change gears for a moment, and anybody here watching this on the replay, how many of you have gone to college? Let me know in the comments if you've gone to college or gone to any sort of post-high school education. Let me know in the comments. I went to college in the States. I went to a prestigious school that I could never afford, but I was lucky enough to go using my athletic skill, right? So I had a scholarship. Now, when I moved to that school, I had a fear. The fear was I was moving away from athletics and I was going to have to turn on my brain, right? And at that point in my life, in my early 20s, all I was doing was traveling the world and being an athlete. I didn't read books. I didn't go inside my mind. I was doing no personal development whatsoever. All I was doing was physical development and trying to be a better athlete. So when I applied for college and I was accepted and they gave me a full ride scholarship, I instantly realized, oh my God, I just signed up for 4 years of, scholastics. And I was scared shitless, okay? I'll be honest. I was scared to go to that school because I didn't think that I had the attention span or whatever. Like, I didn't think that I would be able to sit in class every day and read the books and do the reports and do all the stuff I needed to do to get my Bachelor's of Science in economics and finance, right? That's my understudy. So I had this massive fear. So I moved out of this athletic world where I was scared to ski, but I overcame it and ended up being one of the top racers in the country. And then I moved to school where I was totally scared because I didn't want to learn, number one, but I didn't think I could. So I was scared of that. I was slightly scared of the new surroundings, going to a new part of the world and being a student. I was slightly scared of that. But when I got there, I instantly eliminated all those fears in the exact same way that I eliminated the skiing fear when I was standing on top of those mountains. The exact same way. When I was standing on top of a downhill ski race and I had to go 120 kilometers an hour for 2 minutes straight starting right now, versus I have to move to Montana and be a full-time student, and I'm scared of that, but I have to do it right now, I overcame those fears in the exact same way. Right? In the exact same way. I'll give you another example from my own experience. When I was working in a bank, I hated it, okay? So I decided I needed to leave that bank, and I wanted to go and I wanted to study hospitality because I enjoy traveling and things. So when I was leaving the bank, I thought to myself, okay, you're going to leave this bank, you're going to leave this cushy job with, I was already making good money, I was already growing, and I could see a very easy, stable financial future for myself working as a banker in the States. I had offers to move to Monaco and work, I had offers to move to Geneva and work, I had offers in Canada, I had offers all over the place, and I could see an easy future for me. But I knew that I didn't want to do it, right? Does this sound familiar to anybody? Is anybody, do you feel like that? Like, you can do something, it's going to be easy, it's going to work, but down deep you just don't want to do that thing? Let me know in the comments if that sounds like you, because I think a lot of us get in that position in our life and we don't even really realize it, and all of a sudden we're just stuck in this mundane thing because it's comfortable and we're not actually enjoying it. So I felt like that when I was working in a bank. Right? I would go to work in the morning, I'd get my coffee, I'd have the same routine, I'd make my money, I would do my thing, I would go home, I'd go out to the bar, every day was the same. I did not enjoy it. So I decided I was going to go to hospitality school. But I was massively scared because I was walking away from a cushy job, right? I had just finished 4 years in college and I just got myself a great job. I was wearing a suit every day. I bought the new car. Like, everything was exactly on pace. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to throw all this away and I'm going to randomly go to school in Europe for hospitality, a low-paying industry that I know nothing about, right? Like, why would I walk away from banking when I have that in my pocket and it's working already? So as I was thinking about doing this, making this move, this is about 13 or 14 years ago, when I was thinking of making that move, I had massive fear, right? As you can imagine, I'm walking away from banking and I'm stepping into hospitality, but first I have to go to school to learn hospitality. So I had a massive fear of leaving my cushy lifestyle and then turning into a student again. And on top of it, I had chosen to go to Switzerland, the German-speaking part of Switzerland, North Switzerland, Lucerne. It's an amazing, beautiful city. If you ever get a chance to go there, please do. It's so nice there. So I was going to step out and I was going to go into the hospitality realm, and I was going to go to a place where they don't speak English. I was going to go to a school with hospitality people. I was going to learn a new skill that I knew nothing about, and I was going to walk away from a banking career that I had just started. I had massive fear, massive fear. I was sick to my stomach thinking about it, partly from excitement and partly from, am I the stupidest person on the planet? What am I doing? So that's the fear that I was feeling. Now, how did I overcome that fear? Well, the answer is this. The exact same way I overcame the ski racing fear, the exact same way I overcame going to college fear, the exact same way I went over the fear of going to school in Switzerland to a new industry. Okay? Now, this one secret that I'm going to reveal that I've used my whole life, I'll tell you at the end of this broadcast what that one secret is, and it's served me very well. Now, let's fast forward a little bit. So my wife and I moved to Singapore, right? After we graduate from hospitality school, we moved to Singapore. We both take corporate jobs because, it's safe. It's the corporate ladder of the hospitality world. And we figured that's what we wanted to do. So we took hospitality jobs and everything was going fine. We were there for a few years doing that. Again, climbing the ladder. We turned into executives relatively quickly, quicker than usual. We were getting pay raises, we were getting promoted, everything was going according to plan. I was becoming friends with the general managers and I was moving up the ranks. And something in us, again, just like when I was in banking, I had the same feeling. I had the feeling of, this isn't fulfilling. I'm not fulfilling my destiny being here in this job at a hotel in Singapore. I felt like I'm destined for more. I felt like myself being a robot, just, working with the standard operating procedures and training staff how to stay on the procedures and teaching staff how to upsell and downsell different room categories and stuff. That was my job, right? I was a sales trainer and I was I don't want to say the manager because that wasn't my title, but I felt like the manager. I took care of all the staffing and all the scheduling and everything of the executive club, which is where the penthouses are in the Fairmont, Singapore. So it was a pretty prestigious position that I had, in the hospitality world, but I was not fulfilled, right? So at that moment, my wife and I were looking at ourselves, and she was in the same situation in the Mandarin Oriental. And coming from the hospitality school, where, I have a master's degree in international hospitality and events, I should be chasing the corporate ladder at this point, right? That's what I should have been doing. But I looked in the mirror and I did not like what I saw, right? My health was deteriorating. My mindset was getting worse and worse because I was just focused on helping the hotel and not my own personal growth, and I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. So again, I had to make a fearful decision. I had to make a decision about what I really wanted in this world, what I want in my life, how do I want my life to be? And we were sitting in Singapore, and I'll never forget it. We were going around on the Eye in Singapore for my wife's birthday, and we had an amazing dinner, and everything was awesome. And I remember we both said to ourselves, is this how we see our future for the next 10, 20 years, like working in this corporate structure? And we both looked at each other and we were like, no, that's not how we don't want to do that. So again, I had a fearful decision to make. That decision was, do I continue on the corporate ladder in the hotel world or do I explore something else? And we ultimately decided to move to this island that you're looking at right now, right? Boracay in the Philippines. It's amazing here. This is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life, and I've traveled a lot. This beach is absolutely phenomenal. Look at it. It's so amazing. It's like 4 kilometers long, and it's just this most perfect white sand you could ever see. It's like powder. So we were saying, okay, we don't want to work corporate. What do we want to do? So we took a step back and we said, well, we can move to this island and we can consult here. So that's what we did. We moved to this island and we were like, okay, we're going to take a pay cut. We're going to take a career suicide, and we're going to see what we can do. And imagine the amount of fear that we had inside our body at that point, right? We had just spent tens of thousands of dollars getting master's degrees in prestigious Swiss schools so that we could go to a corporate world and crush the corporate scene and climb that ladder as fast as possible. We decided within a couple of years to pull away from that mold and go as independent consultants on a resort island in the Philippines where, the economy is not a high paying economy. So we knew our value would not be covered. Like we wouldn't get the exchange of money that we're giving for value, but we were okay with that because we were getting the lifestyle that we sort of were after at that time. We wanted to live tropical. We wanted to be free and happy and wear board shorts every day and, suntan on the beach like she is right now. We wanted that lifestyle, so that's what we went after. But we were scared. We had so much fear in us, and we discussed it all the time. We said, this is a very scary thing we're doing. Are you sure we want to step away from the corporate scene and go to the consulting in an island where we know we're not going to get paid very much? And we were so scared, almost sick. But we overcame the fear, and we did it. So I did it the exact same way. I had the same strategy. And I'll take it one step further. We're now here on this island for 7 years, and everything's actually quite amazing. But me personally, I've always wanted to understand and leverage the internet, right? Leverage Wi-Fi, leverage technology, because I believe that the internet is getting, the world is getting smaller and smaller every single day because of technology. I was just talking to a guy the other day. You know how you have the 6 degrees of separation, right? So they say that every person in the world is 6 touches away from you. If you want to talk to Donald Trump, for example, you could go 6 touches away and you can probably touch him, right? Everybody in the world is 6 degrees away. That's the theory that they say. Now with the internet, that is now 2 or 3. Honestly, in my opinion, it's that fast. And it's been proven, right? It's been proven. I've talked to guys on Messenger chat, even just recently the other day, I was talking to a guy about Grant Cardone's, one of his courses and stuff, and he was like, oh yeah, I know Grant. Him and I, we hang out, his wife and my wife are friends. So I'm like, oh my God, that's 1 degree of separation away from Grant Cardone, right? I'm 1 degree away from Grant Cardone, all because of the internet. So that's just a funny example, but what I'm saying is technology and the internet is making the world so small that we can connect and talk and communicate, that I love communicating with people. I love learning people's stories and journeys. I love giving value where I can, and I love receiving value from people that are valuable, right? And the internet allows us to do this with ease, as this is a perfect example right now. I'm on an island in the Philippines. You guys are watching from all around the world, right? The internet allows us to connect with ease, exchange value with each other, and ultimately get paid to do so. And I've known this for many years. I just didn't really know where I stood in it, how I was going to do it, what I was going to do, how I was going to leverage it for my own loving, my own liking, or how I'm going to, I had no idea, completely newbie. And over the last couple of years, some things have happened here in the Philippines that were out of our control, right? So the economy kind of changed, a few things changed in our business world. And I found myself in a bit of a sticky situation where I decided, you know what? I've always been scared of the internet. I've always been scared of going online to try to be an online entrepreneur, because I honestly knew that I'm not tech savvy. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not going to go out and be the guy who codes things and does stuff. And I always thought that that was one of the things that you needed to do. I thought that was a barrier of entry that I couldn't break. And I realized that that's not true at all. You don't need to have tech skills at all to do this. 0. So when things kind of went sideways here on the island for us, again, the fear kicked in, right? I was like, oh my God, we're here consulting, and now all of a sudden, some things aren't working, and, again, we want more in life. You're always searching to grow and expand your life, right? So again, we find ourselves in a position where we want to grow and expand. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to open my computer and I'm just going to figure out, or just try to learn how to make money online, right? And I did that about a year ago. And I can tell you, I was scared, extremely scared. And for the first 6 months or so, it was absolutely horrific. It was terrible. I was totally overwhelmed. I was stressed out. I wasn't sleeping. I was completely consumed with the wrong aspects of it. I was getting pulled into scams. I was getting pulled into make money online, like get rich quick things and all these garbage things. And the reason was because I honestly didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have anybody to lead me or teach me or show me anything. I was just winging it. And you know how it goes. When you wing something, you can figure it out, but it'll probably take you 10 or 20 years. And I don't have 10 or 20 years to figure this out. So when I went online, it was a mess. And now it's coming together and everything's pretty rosy. And now it's to the point where, I've learned from various amazing people how to manifest income on the internet. Now, when someone says this out loud and someone is hearing it, they're thinking, oh, what are you talking about? You're manifesting money out of the internet. You're crazy. It's not so much that you're manifesting it, like you're thinking of it and then all of a sudden you have money in your hand. It doesn't work like that. What it means is you can manifest it because now you can learn the skills, right? And you can implement strategies. And you can surround yourself with people who have experience, and you can use their strategies and their skills, and you can leverage their experience and turn it into your own thing. And then you can turn around and give value out to the marketplace. And the more value you provide the marketplace, the more money you will earn. So the internet is really just a portal. It's a gateway to the economy of the world. It's not like you have to be an internet person or a tech person to make money online. You just have to be an entrepreneur with a dream. and you can make money online. The internet just simply is a tool to connect people like you and I right now. So here we are today. We're sitting here on the beach. We just said goodbye to one of our favorite families. They own this beach resort here. And this is one of the resorts that I've been consulting with for the last 7 years. And we're saying goodbye because we've decided to leave this island where we've called home for 7 years, again, to throw away everything we're doing in this current moment and to just face fear in the eyes. And we've decided to just pack our bags, take our dog, and move to Europe. Right? Randomly. Just like I moved to banking randomly, and then I moved to Switzerland randomly to go to school, and then I moved to Singapore randomly, and then we moved from Singapore to here randomly. Now I'm randomly moving to Europe. We're going to go to Russia for a while, then we're going to travel around Italy. Now, here's my question to you. Would you be fearful if you were leaving behind your home, right? We have an amazing house on the beach that we rent with our friend. It has a beautiful view. We have income here. I can set up businesses overnight, easy. I have multiple friends, successful people around us. Would you have fear to throw this away, per se, and move to a new chapter? The unknown, right? Going to Europe is a completely unknown thing for us. I mean, we've lived in Europe, yes, but we're going there now with no assets, with no revenue, with nothing. We're just going there. Now, there's two things about this. One, the reason we can do it is because of the internet. 100% unequivocally, the only reason we can do this is because of the internet. If there was no internet, we would never do it, right? I can't go to Italy and sit down and all of a sudden have thriving businesses running day one, right? My wife just can't go there speaking English and Russian and have a job right away. Like, it's impossible. But with the internet, just like I'm connecting with you right now from the Philippines in the middle of the ocean, I can connect with you in Rome or in Venice or in Moscow or in Paris. I can connect with you the exact same way I'm connecting now. So yes, we do have fear going to Europe, but the thing that is assuring me that the fear is not worthwhile, even for a moment to think about, is the simple fact that I can do exactly what I have been doing here to successfully go full-time online over the last, say, 6 months. I can successfully do that anywhere in the world thanks to the internet, right? So that is helping me with my fear. Okay, so the question of the live is, what is the one thing that helps me overcome my fear in the various situations? The fear of alpine ski racing, the fear of going to college, the fear of moving to Europe, Switzerland, to school again, the fear of being a banker, the fear of going to corporate America, the fear of leaving corporate America, all of these fears that I've had in my various stages of life, and now the fear of leaving our home on this beautiful island to go to Europe. All of these fears are rooted in the same thing, okay? And any fear that you're feeling, whether it's business related, family related, maybe you want to travel but you don't know how you can afford it. Maybe you want to quit your job because you hate it and you want to go online but you don't know how to do it, right? All of these fears are simply rooted in the human condition to stay safe and not die, right? It's our subconscious mind trying to help us stay safe. So what is the one secret to busting through that? What's the secret to mind hack yourself to break through the fear? I'll tell you right now what it is. It's one word and one word only. Action. Action breaks the fear. If you're scared to do something, it's because your subconscious is trying to keep you safe. The only way to beat your subconscious at its own game is to simply do the thing you're scared of. And when you do it, your subconscious cannot fight you anymore on it because you've just trumped it. You've just shown it the ace in your sleeve. You've just proven to your subconscious mind that you can do it. And guess what? You're doing it right now. So the fear is gone. Right? Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense to anybody. You know, I saw Will Smith the other day talking about his skydiving experience. He was speaking with Oprah. And Will Smith is someone I really respect, and I'm sure you do too. He's an amazing human. I had the pleasure of hosting DJ Jazzy Jeff at one of our nightclubs. Not our nightclub, but we rented out a nightclub of our friends. And we hosted DJ Jazzy Jeff here for a gig. Great guy, very down to earth, amazing. And Will Smith is one of these guys who's, the older he gets, the more enlightened he is becoming, like all of us. But I really respect him because he has the courage to say things that a lot of celebrities don't. When it comes to self-development, mindset, family, love, all these things. He has the courage to say things that a lot of people do not. So I really like Will Smith for that reason. And one of the interviews I was watching with Oprah he was talking about his skydiving experience, right? He was talking about how he basically signed up to go skydiving and he was scared shitless, right? He was thinking about it for a week, couldn't sleep. Every day he'd wake up in the morning, just anxiety and just scared thinking about this experience he has to do in a week because he's signed up for it and he has to do it and he's scared shitless. And then the next day, scared again. The next day, talking to his friends about it, scared. It's running through his mind. He can't stop thinking about it. So then he gets there for the day of the skydive, and he says that, he puts on his pack, and he gets in the airplane, and knees are shaking. He said he felt sick and nauseous to his stomach because he was thinking about it. He was thinking about the worst situation. He was thinking about what could go wrong. He was projecting a future reality in his mind that only his mind was creating. And the reason his mind was creating it was to keep him safe. It wanted to stop him from doing it, right? It wanted to stop him because it's possibly dangerous. So all of these days leading up to the skydive, he was scared and paranoid and thinking about it. It was consuming him. And then he says he got right to the edge of the plane and he was just shitting his pants, scared. And as soon as he jumped, he said it was absolute euphoria. I think he used the word euphoria or bliss or both. I don't know. And he said he was floating and flying with the skydive instructor, and he said it was the most amazing, blissful feeling he's ever felt in his life. I mean, this is a man who puts on concerts in front of tens of thousands of people, who has adrenaline, like crazy adrenaline spikes from that kind of stuff. This is a guy who's a celebrity, who has thousands of people adoring him every day. He's a multi-millionaire. Like, he has all sorts of crazy feelings in his reality that a lot of normal people don't have. So for him to say that was the most euphoric feeling he's ever felt, that's very strong and powerful for him to say that. So what does that tell you? It tells you that skydiving experience was euphoria and amazing, and it changed him for the rest of his life in a good way. But leading up to it for that week, all of his fears, all of his subconscious mind, all of his programming to keep him safe was telling him not to do it, saying it's going to be so bad, you might die, don't do it, it's crazy. But he did it anyway. So I'll go back to the lesson. What is the one thing that guarantees you can break the fear of doing anything in this world? Whether it's leaving your job, taking on a new career, learning how to make money on the internet, marrying or asking out the cute girl or boy that you're scared of, right? What is the one thing that breaks that fear? Let me know in the comments. It's one word. And it's action. Action breaks the fear. Action breaks the fear. So I'll tell you, I was scared when I quit my job and went to a consulting, but I did it. Now I'm not scared anymore, right? Not at all. I'm not scared to be a consultant because I know I have value and I can produce in the hospitality world, right? I was scared to go online because I didn't know what I was doing. I had no skills. I had no network. Now, I'm not scared at all. I'm more confident than ever to open a computer and understand how to pull money from a Wi-Fi connection, right? There's various ways to do this. A lot of you watching right now are professionals at it, and I'm learning a lot from you too, right? Whether it's, just simply getting in better shape. Maybe you're just fearful of going to the gym because you feel like you're too overweight to go there and people will judge you. Again, that's fear. That's your mind trying to keep you safe. If you simply go to the gym, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I'm better today than I was yesterday, that's you breaking the fear. And that's you stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's you growing, right? And growth is where you get the most amazing feeling you'll ever have, right? Progress equals growth, and growth equals happiness. That's the formula for life. So as I move away from this beautiful island, as we move away from our consulting jobs here, as we move away from our beach house and this amazing life we've constructed over the last 7 years, I'm stepping into a full-time role as an online entrepreneur, and we're moving to Europe into the unknown. And if you don't think I'm not scared, you're crazy. Of course I'm scared. I have massive fear, right? We're a young family. We're planning to have babies soon, right? I have a dog we're taking with us. I have massive fear. But I also have massive dreams, and I have massive ambition and goals, right? And one of those goals would be to experience life, right? I'm all about living life to the fullest. So I do have fear to make this move, but I also know that I have the technical and strategical skills that I've learned to do it successfully. And even though I'm fearful, we just bought the ticket and we're just going to go. So it comes back to action. We don't have a choice. We bought the ticket, right? We have our Airbnb in Rome already booked and paid for. There's no choice now. We've cut the parachute. There's no safety net. That's what you call breaking the fear through action. So if there's something you're fearing today, does not matter what it is, I encourage you to simply take action. Imperfect action beats preparation every day of the week. Take imperfect action, do the thing you're fearful of, stare that fear in the face, and I guarantee you, you won't be scared of it anymore. But if you stand back from the sidelines and watch, you'll remain fearful forever, and your subconscious mind will slowly take over, and eventually you just won't do the thing that you wanted to do. And I know for a lot of you watching, I know my audience, a lot of you are trying to break into the online space, or you're struggling and you're trying to find your niche or try to find where you can thrive. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever inside you is telling you, whatever your moral compass or your instinct is telling you to do, whether it's to join a certain program or follow a certain mentor or go into this or go into that, whatever you're being told by feeling, not by thinking, by feeling, whatever you feel, take action on that. Action that feeling, because that's the universe showing you your path. Honestly, that's what it is. But it's up to you to break the fear and take the action. And if you can do that consistently, small miracles start showing up in your life, and synchronicities and flow. And when you get into synchronicities and flow, life becomes amazing. And fear takes a back seat. And you will just live always in action. Okay, guys? So I hope you got some value from today's video. I wanted to talk about fear badly because fear is huge. Fear is huge, but you can overcome it. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm sorry I can't see the comments there on the glare. I'll give you one more view of the beach here on beautiful Boracay Island. And I'm going to head into the water for a swim with my wife. Looks like she's beating me to the water. I have to go join her. All right, guys. I'll catch you on the next video.